Sure, no animal is being killed, but you're harming the environment, and because of how cheap it is, you're harming someone else. You're paying companies which pay workers just pennies. Today, we'll be talking about why I hate vegan leather and why you should too. I hate vegan leather because of the deceit and the quality issues related to the term vegan leather. Let's define vegan leather, shall we? Vegan leather is often made from polyurethane, a polymer that can be made to any designer's whim, but it can also be made from innovative and sustainable materials that are biodegradable and or sustainable as in reuse. But most of the time when you buy a pair of vegan leather pants or anything, maybe a jacket, it's almost always faux leather, including this pair of Aritzia pants that I got from Depop. I absolutely hate vegan leather because every time I've tried to give it a chance, I've given it 3 chances, it's always let me down. When I was younger, I had a Forever 21 faux leather jacket. It was never called vegan leather, it used to be called faux leather, and that jacket wore down eventually last time I looked at it, and so I kind of had to let it go because the faux leather was already like peeling off. The thing is that faux leather is not good quality, it's not meant to last, it's all fast fashion. This is why I'm disappointed in these Aritzia pants because I got them off of Depop and they were over $100 and they're already starting to wear and peel. Faux leather bubbles up and then it can easily tear off the surface of the fabric because, as I'll insert in the photos here, you can see that the upper layer of the leather, so-called, is already like peeling away from the bottom layer. It is just absolute marketing BS. The reason why I also hate it is because the quality will never be the same as real leather. From that Forever 21 jacket to this pair of pants to my office chair, which is clad in faux leather, all of it is starting to bubble up and peel away that so-called leather finish texture, and it's just a thin layer on top. It's just the tip of the iceberg just to make you think that it's actual leather, but in reality it's not. Just don't do it. With the rise of vegan lifestyles, another reason why I hate vegan leather is because it capitalizes on the connotation of ethicality. It gives the consumer a false impression of sustainability. I really care about circular economy and sustainability. Faux leather and real leather, sadly, are nearly identical in where they both end up at the end of the life cycle, and both are pretty much unbiodegradable. But the difference is that at least the real leather will last. Real leather is durable and can be repaired and even reused for years to come. I made a video on my vintage Kelly 28, and it is 58 years old, guys. It's the age of your soon-to-be retired grandmother or your mother, and it has been repainted and repaired to extend its life. And even when there's pop stitches on it, it can be restitched and repaired to a certain point and be reused. You can't really do that, or is it commonly done, with faux vegan leather. There's no way that faux leather lasts anywhere near as long, and top quality leather, if it's taken care of well, it'll last you lifetimes. Literally, if my Kelly had a previous owner that was 20 years old when she owned the bag, and then you add the 58 years old that it currently is to it, the owner would be 88 years old by now. It's probably had more owners than just one in its lifetime, and it's already been passed into my life. So in this way, it's already made it into at least 2 lifetimes, and if not more in the future, or if not more already in its own lifetime. So instead of buying faux leather every few years, you could buy one single leather piece that will last you for decades, even lifetimes, and it may even become an antique because this item is already 58 years old. An antique is something that's generally around 100 years old, and it's already past the halfway mark. And with the right amount of renovation and care, I'm definitely sure it'll last its way to the 100-year mark. Faux leather has the worst quality, and it also is unbiodegradable like real leather, so you get the worst of both worlds. Chill it out, take it slow, with the real leather go. And it's become synonymous with plastic is the term vegan leather, which is not entirely true. We often put vegan leather into the name of an item because it implies a prioritization of animal ethics over environmental ethics. Sure, no animal is being killed, but you're harming the environment, and because of how cheap it is, you're harming someone else. You're paying companies which pay workers just pennies. There's real vegan leathers and sustainables such as deadwood, which reuses leather scraps to make new products like jackets commonly. And their lining is plastic, but it's from PET water bottles, which helps. And Pinatex, which makes use of cellulose fibers from pineapple leaves to make leather from a petroleum-based resin. Mycoworks, which is made from mycelium, aka mushrooms. Same with Mooskin. And Deserto Leather, which is a sort of leather made from cactus, nopal cactus. Deadwood has a line made in the same Deserto Leather, and I actually had a chance to touch and smell one in person. It was actually kind of a little bit stiff too, but it seemed very durable. It has the capacity to last at least 10 years. Scoby Leather as well, which is a flexible biomaterial that is made from a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. And Scoby actually grows thicker depending on how you treat it. Apple Skin is also the name of a bio-based leather alternative made with waste from the fruit juice industry. Think of that next time you toss out your kids' apple juice. And it's made from Italy-grown apples in Bolzano, a city in the north, and it's made from 20 to 30% apple. In addition to mango leather, which also is another reuse project making use of scraps of mangoes into leather. They grind it up and then they lay it out on a sheet and they kind of bake it into leather, I believe. The nice thing is that they're just making bank because they're just getting the mangoes for free that farmers aren't making use of are becoming rotten. So in a way, you're creating something sustainable at the same time as you're reusing waste from another industry, which feeds into it, which is even better. In addition, right now, probably the most easiest option to be sustainable with your leather is buying secondhand. Though this can be a controversial topic because not everyone wants to buy designer handbags secondhand from what I've seen. In addition, though, secondhand leathers and jackets and stuff aren't seen as bad, but for some reason handbags are, which why we do that, I don't know. But it's up to person preference. And you can also save money and reduce your carbon footprint by doing this rather than buying a new bag that has to be created. So buy less new bags. Faux leather is made with a plastic base and then it is treated with wax, dye, or polyurethane to create the color and texture on top. The biggest difference between faux leather and real leather is that in texture, the real leather is unique, so no two hides are ever the same because they're from, of course, real animals. Of course, you can't get that amount of variability with the normal stamping texture from a machine. And how actual leather is made is that it's either a byproduct of the slaughterhouses or animals are slaughtered for their hides. Though I think in most cases it's the byproduct of slaughterhouses. It's actually interesting because tanneries started up in Grasse, Italy, and it was because of that stench that they developed perfumes to spray these leather gloves that were being produced in Grasse. And they put the perfume with essential oils and stuff onto the leather gloves. Took away the smell, and the aristocrats who were did I just say? I said it. I said aristocrat. The aristocrats that bought these were people who enjoyed the scent, and so it actually became a thing to put essential oils and other scents on your leathers to mask the smell coming off the tanneries. It actually led to Grasse, Italy becoming the major perfumer in Italy. It became an industry that Grasse became well known for with its perfume. Hence, leading to one of the videos I talked about, which was the history of Chanel No. 5 and review, where I talked about how Grasse became the center originally for perfume and is currently the only place left where they are growing the flowers for Chanel No. 5. And there's only these flowers in the world for some of their flowers in their concoction. But there are actually two methods for how you can create real leather. One is to process the leather in the tanning process via heavy metals, and it prevents decomposition, and it also turns the hides a light blue. The pro is that you can tan stuff within a day, and the light color makes it easy to dye colors. Basically a blank canvas. And some of the leather is just a byproduct of the food industry, so you're not necessarily creating new waste and harm. The con is that it's almost non-biodegradable. And the wastewater, if it's not disposed of properly because it's being tanned with heavy metals such as chrome, the wastewater can harm people and leach into waterways if it's not treated properly. The other way that leather can be tanned, and the most natural way, which allows it to be biodegradable, is vegetable tanning. The cons include that it can take up to 2 months to produce, and it's also very labor intensive. But the pro is definitely that it is biodegradable, and 90% of leather to this day is still not vegetable tanned, which includes your designer handbags. The other interesting thing is that it develops a nice rich patina, kind of like Louis Vuitton vachetta, if you tan it via vegetable tanning, and it'll get darker and darker as it ages and develop a gloss. If at any point in this video you find yourself enjoying this or smiling along to it, then give this video a like. if you haven't already, because likes are free. So why not? Please give this video a like so that it can spread to more people. And if you love couture, style, and analysis, aka CSA, then please go down and like and subscribe and turn on the bell to get your weekly notifications of a CSA, PSA, How to Press weekly. You want to subscribe because you won't want to miss more interesting things related to fashion, fashion history, and couture. Hermes partnered with Microworks, a company that grows mushroom leather. Mushroom leather grows super fast, and you can grow large swaths of it for leather and can be grown possibly within a week. And how cool would it be to have a Kelly or Birkin made out of this sustainable leather? Mushroom leather offers very little carbon footprint because mushrooms grow really fast on their own and they don't really need very much. Like, think about it, guys. Think about how fast your food gets moldy in the fridge. You didn't do anything, but it just automatically grows due to moisture. And mold is everywhere. There are spores everywhere that are floating around in the air you and I breathe. Anything can become moldy. Even if you think it's a sealed container, it can still develop mold. If you can grow mold in your strawberry cheesecake without even thinking about it, think about the possibilities of what this could do if you controlled it and used its powers to create your favorite items. It also becomes a question: would you buy a handbag if it was made sustainably and ethically with mushroom leather? There also arises a question: where is sustainability in couture now? And how long can vegan leather last? And I'm talking real vegan leather here. I'm not talking about vegan leather. We need to test it, and if a shorter time period is how long it lasts, then it might become more suited for apparel, and the shorter that it does last with normal use, the lower the price should be. But if it can last over 10 years, it could be a sustainable and suitable substitute for leather and handbags. Compared to the almost indefinite lifespan of real leather, the uncertainty of it can make it difficult for designers to decide how much to price these items made from this nouveau material. Consumers can definitely be apprehensive for buying luxury items made from this new material and not sure about the durability of it and if it's an appropriate investment of their hard-earned money, especially with handbags that cost thousands of dollars or any product that costs thousands of dollars made out of leather, even haute couture. There's already some kind of snobbery and snubbery apparent about buying used bags in communities who buy designer goods. But yet that same snubbery is not common when you're buying leather apparel. Like, people will buy vintage Chanel suits, so why the snubbery with used bags? The future of sustainability requires risk and trial. So to become more sustainable, people need to buy vegan leather bags or used real ones. There's a level of excess present to buying, and less is more. Durability, cost effectiveness, and materials and consumer accept needs to happen. There's a bit of an obsession with having the real thing. In the designer realm, like, people may not want croc embossed item when they can get the real croc item. The future of leather is uncertain, but the near immediate sustainability of this future is the reuse of current leather bags and reselling old ones. The question is, can vegan leather ever replace real leather? And can vegan leather stand the test of time like real leather? And the only way to know, really, is that time will tell. It's not such a simple solution because some leather is just a byproduct of cows being slaughtered for food, so it's better to use the hide for more items than toss it as waste. But it's also conflicting because the raw hide can just decompose, but the leather made into a bag cannot. The decomposition is still going to wreak havoc one last time as it goes away, in that it releases carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas. So you can either create greenhouse gas when you let it decompose, or sequester it by making it into chrome tanned piece of leather, by which then after that point it will end up in a landfill eventually, and it'll be almost as decomposable as plastic, aka faux leather. This is where the appeal of vegan leather comes in. It can decompose, but the more durable it is, the longer it can sequester and prevent the release of further gas into the atmosphere, causing global warming. So these were my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like because it really helps support me as a creator, and spread it to new people who may find this useful as well. Follow me on my Instagram in the description down below and also up above here. If you love couture, style, and analysis, aka CSA, then please go down and like and subscribe because you won't want to miss out on your weekly CSA, PSA, Hot of the Press weekly. You want to subscribe because you won't want to miss more interesting things that we do here related to fashion, fashion history, and couture. I would really love it if you could support me as a creator by liking, subscribing, and becoming a Patreon to this channel. Link to my Patreon and my closet are in the description. Check out my next video here, which is what happened when I didn't buy fast fashion for 2 years. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!